So knowing the business on the cash out, and you've probably fixed yourself into a 30-year term, is there any playing with the rates, buying it down? Do you do anything creative knowing what you know?
No, not as much for investment properties, right? I'm a big fan of the 2-1 buy down. I think that's the best product there is, period, ever in mortgages, especially in this rate environment.
Explain the 2-1 buy down just in case anyone's coming in.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's, for simple numbers, right? Say the rate today is 7%, right? A 2-1 buy down means that the first year the rate is going to be 2% lower. So in this example, it's going to be 5% the first year. It's going to be 6% the second year, and the beginning of the third year, it's going to go up to 7%. Now, why are we doing this? The whole point we're doing this is to get a lower rate in the highest interest rate environment over the last 23 years. That's a huge win. Now, by the time it gets to the third year, right, there's predictions, expectations that rates are going to come down. Well, as rates come down, you're going to want to refinance, right? Now, the one catch to it is there's a cost to it. The cost is the exact amount of money you're saving. So let's say the cost is $10,000. The catch to it is the seller has to pay for it. So you have to get a seller credit. So I have a deal going on right now that's negotiating for a single family home in Nashville, Tennessee, right? Connected with the realtor reached out like, hey, we want to do a 2-1 buy down. We think we could get it below list price. What's the cost of the 2-1 buy down? And the cost was $10,300. I say, hey, just round up to $11,000. They asked for $11,000 credit. The seller provides it. No problem. I've never had an issue with the seller saying no. Because at the end of the day, say they're submitting an offer, say the agreed price is $500. So the offer would be $511 with an $11,000 credit, netting $500. You still get to the same result for the seller. Makes no difference. But what you're doing as a buyer is you're increasing your mortgage by that $11,000 or 80% of $11,000, 90% of $11,000, whatever your down payment is. So your mortgage payment's going up, what, $50, $75? But then you're saving $600, $700, $800 the first year with the rate being 2% lower. You're saving $300 the second year.
Correct. And then you're fixed on that third year, right? That's the thing people don't realize. I think it's misinterpreted that it's just some 3-year arm or 5-year. Or what if I don't refi? No, like you are in at the rate that you would have gotten today.
Yeah,
like
there is no downside whatsoever.
Correct. As long as you get the seller to get the credit going, it's absolutely worth it.
So,
and even when things are hot right now, so like, as if you're selling, you don't really have to do this as much. But when things were steady, we got caught when rates first jumped. And we started pricing in our head like, all right, let's just jack up our price 10 grand, knowing we can then offer the seller credit and the numbers work better.
Big time.
Right? Like just every time, just inflated it to account for it. And that's how we got some of them done.
Yeah,
so the true benefit, the buyer, to kind of reword this, is they're basically able to pay, in your example, $10,000 less in the next 24 months and spread that over the next 30 years, basically.
Over 24 months. The savings.
Yeah, it's 2 years. Yeah. So they'll save money for they'll save that over 2 years, and they kind of spread it out, and that just helps right now in this environment. And then you're rolling the dice on the opportunity of like, hey, I'll pay less now because there's a good chance rates might come down. But if it doesn't, worst case scenario, I'm locked in for 30 years at 7.
100%. I mean, you guys know this as well as I do, right? I just see it more as a mortgage advisor. Most people have a budget. Most people want to be below a certain amount monthly. Right? So it's funny when I say, what am I pre-approved for? Well, you're pre-approved for $3,000 a month. Well, what do you mean? Well, can't you give me a home price? It's like, not really. Like, yeah, you're pre-approved for $500,000 if your taxes are below X, but if your taxes go above X, right, your monthly payment's a little higher, your debt to income ratio, and then you don't qualify. So for me specifically, I asked the $1 million question. What is your ideal comfortable monthly mortgage payment? Where are you drawing the line in the sand saying, I'm not going higher than this, because it allows me to reverse engineer it and advise you on the purchase price, the property taxes, the HOA if you're looking at a condo, so on and so forth.
People are buying a mortgage payment versus a sale price these days.
100%.
And it's been like that for probably the last decade.
Yeah, and the 2-1 buy down or 1-0 buy down, or actually have a closing early next week. First time ever, I'm doing a 3-2-1 buy down. They're going to be in the 4s.
Yeah.
It's a big credit, but the only way we were able to do is they're buying their sister's home. So they were able to negotiate it. And the crazy part is we got what's called a property inspection waiver, meaning we didn't even need to do an appraisal. So the home already appraised out before even doing an appraisal, and the credit worked. So they're saving over $1,000 their first year. And when rates drop, boom, they refinance, take advantage of it.
Home appraisal waiver, like that makes you feel like 2007 again.
Yeah. It feels good. What's I think investors miss this a lot. Cash out refi.
Yeah.
Ballpark, what is that premium compared to a purchase? Is that 0.5%? Is it a quarter? Is it roughly the same? Because people will underwrite it if they're purchased at 7 and they get shocked that, oh wait, on the cash out it's 7.5 or whatever. I don't want to throw numbers out there, but
Are
it's
you
a
referring
different
to
product.
closing costs or interest rate?
I'm talking about the actual interest rate.
Oh, interest rate is refinance is about an eighth higher.
Okay, on a cash out on a residential, it's not much.
Cash out's about 0.25% higher
Okay.
compared to if you're purchasing
So it's
a
not
home.
that dramatic.
No, not dramatic at all, and it makes all the sense in the world. It's all numbers. Like I had a great conversation yesterday with individuals that bought in September of last year. Worst time to buy. They have an 8% interest rate. And then we were looking at saying, hey, if you refinance now, you could save $150 a month. But here's my strategy is, hey, instead of saving $150 a month, are you comfortable with your payment? Yes, we're comfortable with our payment. Great, let's refinance to a 25-year fixed. Let's shave 4 years off your mortgage. Let's keep the same payment, shave 4 years off your mortgage, and you're saving $112,000 over the next 25 years. But Alex, we plan to move in the next 5 years. Let me look at the table. You're saving $13,000 in interest. Okay, what are the next steps? I'll send you pre-approval instructions.
Yeah.
It's all numbers.
It becomes a math problem.
That's all it is. And I tell them, I said, take emotion out of it. It's literally a math problem. If the numbers make sense, you do it. If the numbers don't make sense, you don't do it, right? You're not looking for a home. There's no realtor involved. There's no attorney involved or inspection involved. It's me, potentially an appraiser if we need it, right? And just numbers. And people love it. And I have so much experience with 2020 and 2021 with everyone refinancing, which was a good time.
Did a lot of math problems.
A lot of math problems.
What today? I feel like lenders are getting a little more tight, like asking for a few more things here and there. How's the lending environment a little different than it was, call it 2-3 years ago? Obviously rates are up, but just the overall getting deals to the finish line. Have you seen a change there?
Excuse me. I haven't seen a big change at all, in my opinion. I think it depends what company you work for. I think it depends what type of underwriters you work for. I think it depends what type of team you have doing the pre-approval, pre-qualification, and reviewing everything. But on our end, debt to income ratios haven't changed or anything like that. I would say it's a dramatic difference from the housing crash, but not much has changed over the last 2-3 years.
What's next with Burr? Are you doing more since that condo?
So right now I'm negotiating on a flip that I think makes a lot of sense. And after that, I'm just going to take it deal by deal, and depends what comes across my table. Do the numbers make sense? Is it in a good area? Do I want to go there? Do I need the cash now? How's the mortgage advising going? Because it's been slower the last 2 years, right? I'm not making the same income I made this year or last year compared to 2020, 2021. There's peaks and valleys all the time. Coaching has obviously helped, of me coaching others and having an income. But I think it's more, again, not having an ego or not having a preconceived notion of I'm doing this. It's like, okay, what deal comes across? What can we negotiate? What are the costs for it? Okay, how much cash flow am I going to get? Do I need the money? Can I take that money and roll it into another deal? So it's just using the knowledge I have and the resources around me.